Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. As always, I am joined by Pharaoh. Say hello.
Hello there, everybody.
And in the last episode, we were speaking to the young baby banana.
Oh, I thought you said we were spanking. I'm like, hold on a minute. I was like,
did I say that?
What?
I think I said speaking.
I think you did say speaking, but my mind's like stupid, as you may well know. So
Went straight in the gutter, less than 30 seconds.
That's yeah, well, I would say it's a record, but I could have sworn I did quicker than that.
Maybe.
That sounds bad too.
You know, one day
Yeah.
Okay. You know, one day I might just catch everybody off guard and start off an episode saying something bad. Just right off the gate, you know?
You know, that would be funny as hell, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know how the hell I would react.
I'll do it when y'all least expect it.
Oh my God, now just all I keep thinking is, what the hell are you gonna say?
We'll see. Okay.
Oh, God.
You know, we already took up our time of saying what happened last episode. Anyway, we're talking to him, so let's continue on.
Yes. Wait, who's you're a judge, right?
Yes, I am judge. Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once. The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid, so I'm sure it means something. But what?
I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, the Latin Grammary, has testified the IV liquid was yellow because...
Gosh, this is like, what game are we playing hearing this theme?
Oh, it takes so many memories.
It's so good.
I want them just to bring back the original music but at the same time, I like the soundtrack of Spirit of Justice.
Oh yeah, I think there hasn't been a single Ace Attorney game that I haven't liked the music. I mean, there's some that were a little weaker in general, but I think they always had at least one or two good songs. Yes,
exactly. It's like none of the games had bad music, but I will say like some of them are just a little bit like, compared to the others. And I think for me, I think it's more so Justice for All for me. Like the music was good, but not as great as the others anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if or when they ever make a new one, what music they decide to do with that one, but...
Right.
I guess we still have time, so...
Ah, well. Alright, so we know that... Actually, this is one of the few cases where we can choose two options. Either he'd seen it before, or he knew the IV liquid's color. I'm just gonna say he'd seen it before.
From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before. But not inside a blue bag what we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colorless bag.
I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what all this means.
Well, ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at a hospital? That's where you'll have to find your meaning, Your Honor. Objection! I'm afraid I have found nothing. So what if he knew the IV liquid's color? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah? Is that something you want to be proud of? The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass and a 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin.
I remember it well.
However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag.
Wait, I know! An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid.
Oh, Judge is smart.
He tries, you know.
Right.
He tries.
I'm right, Mr. Wright?
As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike the sand through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body.
I like how the music stopped for a second there.
That's like, alright, hold on, let's give him his moment. Oh, okay, now we can continue. at which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in.
Objection!
Let me get this straight, Wright. You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag? Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow. Now wait! I've said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task?
Honestly, it's not realistic, but okay.
Yeah. I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup.
Can you, Phoenix?
Objection!
But even then, I'm getting mad again at the stupidness of this case a little bit.
Yeah.
The whole thing about the force of the shot took the IV. Anyway. Objection, yeah, I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Can you prove a witness is capable of such a feat?
He has a point, amateurs.
Wow, okay.
Okay, thank you.
That was a little cocky there.
Sure, yeah.
I, at least, would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag.
You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to the IV to throw off the time of death. I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence.
Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth?
The Latin Grammary. I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in the life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was...
Alright, the prop, which is why I'm already getting a little annoyed again, was a syringe, which should not have even been left out there. Okay. Anyway, present.
The victim's syringe.
It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick. And easy enough for an amateur to use.
Objection!
What kind of evidence is that? The syringe is clean, not a trace of liquid in it.
Objection!
And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had a syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Well, the Latin Grammary? As you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes a perfect clock. One that could manipulate at will. Oh, look. It's all... Where the hell are those birds hiding?
I was just thinking the same thing. They were coming from south.
Ew.
Those poor birdies. Okay.
Hey,
Bird penis! I'm sorry, Side, I forgot.
Bird porn!
Yeah, I was gonna continue the joke and then I realized.
That's fine. Well, people might be wondering, what the hell am I talking about?
Instead of a dick in a box, it's a bird in a dick. Okay. I'll stop.
That sounds painful. Maybe they mistook the balls as eggs.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We are really going
gotta-
far out. Alright.
Yeah, we gotta stop this.
Oh.
I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that while there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in that bag, the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today.
Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this. I can do a little much-needed investigation work.
I see there are no objections or oh, okay.
Never mind. But surely there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. Ugh. A word to the wise. Underestimate the young and they'll sweep your feet out from under you. In a way you never, ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. What's he talking about? You say the witness used a syringe to manipulate the level of the IV liquid. But there's no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. Huh? Wait, he's admitting it? Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This, I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much?
You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin.
Proof, Herr Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less.
What's this?
This is the victim Magnifi Gramarie's diary. Diary? After going into the hospital, Magnifi began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his startling debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not.
Aw.
What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we?
Oh, tonight's IV is in. Maybe the last. I'll leave the rest to them. The first should come soon. This journal may end here or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. All that is left to something? I can't read the bottom part.
Yeah, there's words in the way.
This does appear to have been written just before his death.
All that is left to mine is to lay down this path or something. Or pen.
Something,
Yeah.
yep.
The court accepts this into evidence.
Oh, it's there.
Oh, damn. Anyway. Now, read the very last part with particular care. This journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his, he refers to our defendant, Zach Gramarye.
That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor after all.
But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here or it may go on. It may go on. Magnifi Gramarye intended to write again. That is, if Zach Gramarye didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on. It ends.
But the ripped. Ugh.
Because Magnifi's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Gramarye. But even then, you still can't prove that he didn't write anything afterwards, after Zach may have visited him.
Right.
But again, I guess
Jump.
can't use logic.
Mhm.
Order,
Oh,
order, Prosecutor Gavin! Are you certain that Magnifi Gramarye wrote this?
There's no mistaking his handwriting.
Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifi did intend to continue his diary. Yet, if his diary ended here, which plainly it did,
And the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Gramarye. Well, how do you like me now, Herr Wright? Still too green for your taste, He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he'd overlook such an obvious problem with his precious evidence.
well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking. But put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case.
If the diary's accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something.
Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just ask him what happened to the missing page.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do, Phoenix. That's legit all you need to do. There's no need to do anything else, please.
Right? We can't change the past, though, so,
No.
let's show evidence.
I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence.
What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary?
It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment.
It's not too late.
It's not too late.
Very well. Please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright.
Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary I've just shown the court. Huh? Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. Alright, I'd be happy to. The decisive evidence proving that the diary didn't end with this page is...
The mysterious letter we got, which, I believe it's called, yes, notebook page.
If you guys know, I mean, Trucy, I love that, Trucy Enigmar, gave it to us, saying that some person's like, give this to the guy in a blue suit. And we really didn't think much of it, but when you look at it, you see that it's like it's a notebook page. You see, look, it looks like it was ripped from the left side. And it's like, huh. And it's from a Nifty Grammary.
Yep.
This looks like to be the missing page. This looks like it's gonna work out for us.
Alright, let's present.
Well, first, take a close look at his diary. Note that a page has been clearly ripped out.
What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all.
Really, Judge? Really?
And that's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Oh, look, I don't believe it. Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnific Grammary. That's the defense's position.
Wait, let me see that.
Okay, it seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell.
What in Sam Hill? Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary.
I mean, this looks good for us.
Yeah.
It proves Zach innocent, right? Now note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page of Magnifi's diary. Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, attorney? Well, the diary continued after his first visitor came, which means that the victim was still alive after Zach Grammary left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Valant Grammary! No! No!
Ooh, haven't heard this song in a long time either.
More birds, too.
I will not refer to my previous joke. Although I kind of just did. Anyway.
The handwriting too matches that on the other pages. This is, without a doubt, the genuine article.
Hey, he just slammed it to the beat of the song.
Right? That was kind of cool.
Yeah. We should do that more often.
Order, order, order.
But wait! That's impossible! That old man couldn't have written that!
Objection!
Oh god. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Wright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Judge?
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin.
Might I request you put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness.
Eh?
But, Prosecutor Gavin, this evidence overturns the current witnesses.
I ask only to put it on hold. Please. My new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes. No more. I promise, Your Honor.
Well, if you put it that way, Mr. Wright, what's your take on this?
Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear his new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner.
Then, though this is highly, highly irregular, we will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring this surprise witness to the courtroom.
Huh.
I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped out page was too obvious. He must have known.
Yeah.
And I should have known it was a bad sign all around.
Holding trial with no audience is a first, even for me, Prosecutor Gavin.
I beg the court's understanding. But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony.
Looks familiar.
Doesn't it? A judiciary deal? The details of his testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say. I thought it best to contain the information to this room.
Very well. And you are the witness, I gather.
Yes, sir. State your name and occupation for the record. My name's Drew Misham. I'm a painter.
I like this voice you're giving him.
Yeah, I did not know what to give him, so I'm like, let's do this.
Pretty good. Like a true professional.
Oh, thanks.
A painter, and you are somehow related to this case.
No, well, not per se. I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Misham, was it? Do you know what this is? Oh, yeah, I know it well. How's that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before? Oh, yeah. I mean, I made it.
Oh.
Wait, you what? You made it? Well, yes. You might call it one of my works. The regional prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gramery.
Okay.
Illegal evidence.
I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large, Drew Misham has another side, you might say. He's skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words. Forgeries?
Now we know it's actually his daughter.
Well, so we are to understand that this page here is...
A fake, prepared by a certain defense attorney. Now hold it! I didn't prepare this evidence!
Objection!
Ah, the attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume? But what is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented the evidence to us, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Ooh. Witness, Mr. Misham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Who was your client?
That I don't know. What? Well, most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items they want and receive my payment. Well, that's the extent of my contact with them. But there's no proof this is a fake. Oh, it's a fake. Huh? Now, to avoid just this sort of problem, I always put a special mark on my works. I can say, without a doubt, this is mine.
Where's the mark? Ooh, this is so bad.
Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court. My court.
It was careless of me. That's all I can say.
Oh, old boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
It was all a trap. A fatal trap.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
do you have an explanation for yourself?
If I did, will the court hear it?
Probably not.
Ooh, that's so savage.
Forging evidence is a serious crime, and presenting it in court a serious mistake. A fatal mistake for an attorney.
Fatal too, perhaps, for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence?
Come on, that doesn't mean he knew about it.
I hate this so much
hate it.
because it's like I feel like the more work we put into place besides just blaming immediately the defense attorney for what happened, what transpired, you
Mhm.
know. Yes, it was still a little careless, but yeah, whatever. It's a game. The answer is quite clear. A guilty one. Your Honor, wait! I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime, but you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual.
I am sorry, Mr. Wright.
Your Honor? Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, yeah? I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself.
I see no need for further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed.
You can kiss my ass too, Judge.
Yeah. This is the one time I don't like him.
I mean, he's doing his job, I understand it, but it's just like, come on. Mr. Attorney? Yes? Could I ask her name? Phoenix Wright. Mr. Wright, I've seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright.
Interesting.
And kiss my other side of my butt, too.
You just screwed over my whole life, dude.
Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must...
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Zack.
Sort of grammary.
Right. There's one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible.
I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you.
Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict when your defendant does not exist?
Doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
I am talking about this.
Oh, snap.
How the hell do you even do that? Mr. Nigmar! Nigmar! The defendant escaped! Find him! Quick!
Bailiff, close all exits from the building.
How the hell does he do that?
On the double, he must not be allowed to escape.
That day, in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shady Enigmar, aka Zach Gramery, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably, vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again. Not since that day. This is a Gramery miracle! Ha 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 ha!
But dude, was it really worth giving up your whole life and your daughter just to go on the run?
Apparently so. No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. The child magician Zach Gramery vanished, along with him, for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however, but not until 7 years later.
Dang.
Well, now you guys know exactly what happened to Phoenix and why he doesn't practice law anymore.
That sucks. Got so many feels about it, but we won't go into that right now.
Yep.
Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, have a nice day.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also make sure to ring the bell for notifications for new episodes. You can follow me on Twitch, where I stream every week. And also, follow me on Twitter for updates. Until next time, have a nice day. Adios!